riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, the Hello Bot. To my Hello Spider-Man, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how are you doing?
I am uncomfortable, Garrett. I don't know if we started this episode out with the After Dark theme song, lovingly provided to us by the Derek Carvu. Still unclear if I'm pronouncing that right. If we didn't, I should apologize up front and say one big After Dark for this whole episode, Garrett. I am unaroused. I'm unaroused? Well, I'm sorry. I am less aroused than I imagined I would be at this point this week.
Well, this album, Tim, we're going to get into it, of course, but it's pretty erotic.
It is not, Garrett. This is an album that is not sexy, but sexual. Sort of.
It's the rough outline of sexuality without any of the messy details.
Let's imagine you were born by yourself not born by yourself. Let's say at 1 year old, you were thrown by your parents onto a desert island where you lived until you were 20, and then you were asked by somebody to describe the sexual act. This might be the album you come up with. It is so confused and horny. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Way ahead.
What album are we discussing this week?
Dramatic pause. Tim, we are talking about the hit Jessica Simpson album In This Skin.
Yes, August 19th, 2003. It's weird.
Ugh, so sexual. Tim, after an entire week with Miss Simpson and her album In This Skin, I am curious, before we go all the way through it, initial reaction. Do you hate this album?
Garrett, I think I hate this album. I think I am already there.
Wow, pretty shocking.
Is it? I don't think it is at all. Garrett, do you hate this album?
I emphatically hate this album.
Wow. Also shocking.
I really don't like this.
Yeah, it's not good. This is, we'll get there.
I can't wait to ask who is this for, because I don't know.
Perverts, Garrett. Perverts and children together
yes,
at last.
Where is your perverts and children section?
You're just asking where the children's section is, unfortunately.
Or the Jessica Simpson section.
Yeah.
I am curious, Tim, prior to this week, what is your experience with Miss Jessica Simpson? Had you ever been in her skin?
Basically, no. I, at one point, I believe it was 2005, wanted to be in her skin, but I didn't get there. My history with this lady is pretty much relegated to knowing about that time she didn't understand the concept of tuna v chicken, and also seeing a music video or clip or something of her My Boots Are Made for Walking, which, Garrett, I enjoyed.
That's fair.
I assume you watched that a number of times with the sound off this week. Garrett, what about you? Have you been inside of the skin of one Jessica Simpson prior to this week?
Sadly, no. I have not gotten into that skin either, though I have tried. I got a little more experience with her.
What do you say tried?
I'd rather not elaborate.
All right. Ugh.
Anyway, prior to this week, I can't say I've ever heard a Jessica Simpson song. I'm sure I have, but I couldn't name a single one, even after the entire week. But
accurate.
But I definitely watched no less than 5 episodes of her show with that little elf man, Nick Lachey.
Oh, yeah. We'll be getting into him.
Yeah. I believe they were even married at one point, maybe?
Oh, we'll be getting into that.
Okay. Yeah, I watched some of that with the aforementioned Chicken of the Sea incident and largely walked away with 2 conclusions. Wow, Jessica Simpson's attractive, and boy, I don't like Nick Lachey.
Yeah, she's also real dumb. The TV seemed to lean real hard into that. Yeah. But I think, again, here's the thing. I hate this album, Garrett. I do. Mm-hmm. She might be a fascinating person. We'll get into it.
Interesting. Okay. I like Dudley and Royal Tenenbaum's fascinating, or
maybe.
That cab has a dent in it. Alrighty. That's your history. That's my history. Before we can talk about this completely vapid album, we need to understand a little bit about the person who made it. So, Timmy, take us on a journey. Help me, I guess help everyone, understand who is Jessica Simpson and how did we arrive at such a seductive album?
Jessica Ann Simpson was born in 1980 in Abilene, Texas, to Tina Ann Simpson and Joseph Simpson, future homosexual, allegedly. She grew up around Dallas and Waco with her younger sister, Why I Hate This Album alumnus Ashley Simpson, the once niece of Colin Powell. Her dad was a Baptist minister and therapist, which is definitely not a legitimate combination of things to be, and her dad was involved in helping troubled youths. That becomes a stranger statement after he allegedly embraces his homosexual tendencies and starts bringing 20-year-old men to family functions. That's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. And also,
I didn't know about any of this, and I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Jessica sang in the church choir as a child, and at the age of 11 had a prophetic dream at a church retreat. Garrett, she dreamed of being a successful singer.
Okay.
I know, right?
Me too.
I have chills. Her creepy father decided she had the goods, but he wanted to lock those goods down for the time being. So he performed a ceremony where he made her swear her virginity to him. This purity ceremony came with a ring with a little cross on it, which prevented her from having any sort of sexual activity while it was on, and also prevented her from taking it off. Now,
I don't want to be gross, Tim, but what you just described sounds like she sort of married her dad.
Yes, she had a marriage ceremony to her father until he gave her away. We'll get into it in possibly one of the songs on this album.
Oh.
Yeah. She's now ready to be a star, Garrett, having that virginity locked down. She auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club at 12, performing Amazing Grace and also dancing to Ice Ice Baby, I assume at the same time. She did quite well, and she ended up as a semifinalist with Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and J-Tims. But unfortunately, right before she was going to do her final performance, she saw Christina Aguilera perform, and she got super nervous because, she's not that talented.
Can sing.
Yeah. So she blew the audition and had to go back to Texas. Now, she had to then continue in the church choir, but a Christian music label executive, which is definitely not code word for pervert, had her audition for him because he was super into it. She performed Dolly Parton. He was super into that. She began working on a debut album with Proclaim Records and touring in anticipation of a debut album release. She had to quit, unfortunately, the tour early after her dad decided that the size of her breasts made her a little bit too sexual for the Christian music genre.
Wait, what?
Yes. He pulled her because of her growing breasts.
Well, we're gonna sit in that for a minute. So presumably her father, you don't happen to know his name.
Joe. Her name is Joe. I've said it numerous times.
I'm not listening. I'm not even looking at you right now. What gave you the indication I was paying attention?
You stopped us to talk more about a thing I just said.
You said breasts. No, okay, seriously. I am picturing Joe saying, "Sweetie, I'm really sorry. I took a small poll of erections in the audience, and they are up 34%.
Of erections in this household, yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That is not what I said. Your words, not mine. And was like, it literally doesn't make any sense.
Good, because then they'll buy the stuff. Anyway, Garrett, so Proclaim Records went bankrupt, presumably because she wasn't out there shaking those boobies for the Christian boys.
For the men folk.
Yeah. So her debut album didn't get released, but adorably, her grandma financed a limited pressing, so there's some of those out there.
Aww.
She dropped out of high school in 97 and used that unreleased album and her inappropriately large breasts to get auditions, eventually gaining the attention of Tommy Mottola, husband of Mariah Carey and luckily head of Columbia Records. He signed her due to her singing ability, and Jessica started recording a new album in Orlando. Mottola wanted her to be a contrast to Britney and Christina Aguilera, hiding her dancing and sexuality, and he wanted her to embrace an anti-sex appeal image to be more relatable. So she bought into this hard, and she went on to publicly announce that she was not going to bang anyone until she got married, which pleased her creepy, creepy father.
And nobody else.
Right, but here's the thing. He was going to be pleased anyway because he had that magic ring on that finger that she could not take off and that presumably prevented,
her pants from coming down.
Exactly.
With this ring, my daughter, I seal your vagina.
Garrett Harvey.
Thanks,
In
Dad.
conversation.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
His words, not mine.
Well, you didn't specify beforehand. She also began dating Nick Lachey, 98 Degrees guy and noted hot boy. Her mom became her stylist and her dad became her manager. She released her first single in 99, which hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, and then released her first album, Sweet Kisses, featuring her Nick Lachey guy on a single song. The album started off quite slow, but it eventually would sell more than 2 million copies in the US.
Whoa.
Bobby Seagal, though, gave it a D, saying, Simpson is a blonde who got out of cheerleading early to prepare herself for whatever show business offered. Game show sidekick, R-rated remake of Debbie Does Dallas, Bond trader seeking trophy wife. Did not care for it.
Yeah, but you know what? For once, maybe ever, I think he nailed it.
Absolutely. In 99, Jessica got her GED from Texas Tech High School's distance learning program. You heard that right, Garrett. Up until Y2K messed all the records up, Texas Tech was a high school. Robots apparently reclassified it as a university that fateful day, and they just kind of went with it, which is...
I don't know if that's accurate, but we'll assume it is.
It is. I certify this. She was also the opening act for 98 Degrees in 2000. She decided to make her next album more mature and horny to compete with Britney. She briefly broke up with Nick, got back together with him, and released Irresistible in 2001. She was the co-headliner on Total Request Live with Destiny's Child and Nelly. She launched her own Dream Chaser tour, which was canceled after 9/11 because that just wasn't what America needed at the moment. Garrett, and America needed Britney. Jess married Nick in 2002 and started working on her next album, the album of the week, In This Skin. MTV was going to do a reality show about Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley's marriage. They decided not to do it, so Joe convinced MTV, hey, my daughter's dumb and her husband's kind of a dork. Maybe they could do it instead.
I know it's not nearly as horrifying as that other thing you were going to do, but, this is also sort of a sham.
Well, so he said this is the way he phrased it. He said, you wanted something horrifying. Here's my plan. I would like you to put my daughter and her marriage on television so that I can observe them from afar from a series of video cameras that will be in their house. That's just as horrifying as that Michael Jackson thing. And MTV
Listen, the cameras are already there, MTV. And whether or not you want to tap into the feed is up to you.
Excellent. Turns out she has a severe learning disability compounded by the sequelae of an anoxic brain injury, and the show really did not shy away at all from showing that. It focused on the marriage and the recording of the album of the week. It's basically her Some Kind of Monster.
Oh, wow.
It's the show that features her Chicken of the Sea tuna bit and Do Buffalo Wings Come from Buffalo lines, which just classic. Just classic.
What she lacks maybe in common sense, I will say she makes up for in bravery.
Absolutely.
Most people are not brave enough to ask those stupid questions.
Absolutely. She has, and we'll see this on this album time and time again, she has the unearned confidence of a serial killer.
Ooh, maybe it's not unearned.
I think it is, Garrett. I really think it is.
Almost certainly.
I mean, I wish that I was as confident as her. You are absolutely correct. I like to think I would use it for something better, but who knows?
You wouldn't.
No, probably not.
I know you wouldn't because you used to be that confident. Before life proved otherwise, you were pretty sure of yourself. Don't worry, I was too. We've all been beaten down by the realities of what life actually is.
Fair enough. She did the halftime show for Super Bowl 38? I don't know. There's some X's and V's and I's. She re-released the album of the week because it wasn't selling very well to make it sell better, and she starred in the Nick and Jessica Variety Hour on ABC featuring a guest appearance by Mr. T. Now, Garrett, this is when things get weird. She launches a line of cosmetics in which all the cosmetics are edible because, I assume, she got tired of accidentally eating an entire lipstick only for somebody to tell you that was not food, and then she has quite the tummy ache. We'll circle back on that.
No other reason other than she keeps eating her makeup.
Yes. Now, she appeared on The Ashley Simpson Show. She filmed an unproduced sitcom pilot for ABC, and she released Rejoice, the Christmas album. She then launched another line of edible cosmetics, this time aimed at children, although the ads are quite sexual. According to
the first line of edible makeup wasn't for children?
It was not. It was for stupid adults. Now, but it's not just just cosmetics. It's all sorts of stuff. It's body wash, and I know that body wash is one of them because according to the internet, at least one person got a yeast infection from, and this is true, a tube of butterscotch toffee body wash. Which again, I want to be clear, that's not just the scent of the body wash, it is also the taste. And so I assume it has to be very sticky, right? Like,
okay, hold on. One, don't put butterscotch in your vagina. That should go without saying.
I assume it contains actual butterscotch and also toffee.
And potentially soap. That part we're unsure about. So am I to believe that, I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on edible makeup. Am I to believe that not only is the makeup edible, it's flavored?
It's to encourage you to eat it, yes.
No, you have your facts wrong.
No, this is true. This is true. There was a series of lawsuits unrelated to the yeast infection incident that ended both cosmetics line. Now, Garrett, I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I don't know that I could necessarily come up with something weirder than butterscotch toffee as a flavor for your makeup or body wash. But I did try.
I love that. I appreciate the effort. What do you got?
A peanut-flavored eyeliner, chunks of real peanuts in there. That one is, of course, going to cause many, many anaphylaxis.
Yeah.
There's body wash, of course, that's scented and tastes of microwaved leftover catfish and broccoli. That one's,
God.
Yeah. And then, you know that French onion soup with the melted cheese on top?
Sure.
Face mask. Nourishing face mask that you wear overnight. Also, it's literally just melted cheese with some French onion soup mixed in. It's going to cause a lot of face burns.
Oh, it's a thick Gouda replenishing mask. Black licorice eyeliner.
Yeah. Minestrone soup, foot bath.
You're picking very weird foods, I have to say.
Well, Garrett, listen. Because butterscotch toffee body wash, if it tastes like that, that means it tastes sweet. So it's at least got a shit ton of artificial sweetener in it, but she's really stupid. I suspect that it has sugar in it. That's not a body wash. That's the opposite of a body wash.
Damn it.
A body wash should de-stickify you.
What does it taste like? A Snickers dunked in Dawn. What is this?
It's goddamn delicious.
Oh, fuck, man. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Did the clothing line follow this, I assume?
Yeah, Garrett. In 2005, she launched a clothing line that would go on to make over $1 billion annually.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. She also publicly endorsed George W. Bush, and she was, of course, Daisy Duke in that Dukes of Hazzard movie, where she did
film.
The boots are made for walking. Is it?
Well, I don't know. I've never really seen the whole thing, but I will say the hallmark of a. You know what? Let's save time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me fill in what Garrett was about to say. The hallmark of a good film is you can watch it with the sound off.
That's 100% what I was about to say.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, Garrett, in 2006, Nick and Jess got divorced. The court ordered her to pay him $12 million in alimony payments. She would later go on to call him her biggest financial mistake. Remember that specific phrasing, her biggest financial mistake, as we discuss the lyrics of this album, because it's a pretty funny contrast to "It's gonna be better than I ever imagined, putting all my trust in you." She signed with Epic Records and released a single called Public Affair a day before the divorce was finalized. She then launched a line of hair and beauty products on the home shopping network that presumably you can't eat. She released the album A Public Affair in 2006. She starred with Dane Cook and Daxter Shepard in Employee of the Month. Not a great movie. She did a tribute to Dolly Parton at the Kennedy Center Awards. Unfortunately, though, she forgot all the words to 9 to 5.
God, did that happen?
Yes. More embarrassingly than that, they gave her then a chance to redo it just for the cameras. And then her second attempt didn't make the televised broadcast, so presumably it was also terrible.
I mean, just to be clear, folks, the lyrics are working 9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5. It's a great song. I watched that movie recently. It is delightful.
Equally as good a movie.
Yeah. She dated John Mayer in 2006-7 before dating Dallas Cowboys quarterback and canned pasta mascot Tony Romo, destroying his career in both. Tony, notably, did not let her take movie roles if they required on-screen kissing.
That's insane.
George W. Bush publicly blamed her for the lack of success by the Cowboys.
After that endorsement, too.
Yeah, she was
That's
in a
tough.
couple of other failed movies. She started releasing Perfume. In 2008, she released the album Do You Know? That had more of a country tinge to it. People really didn't care for that.
I gotta say, I really thought you were gonna say George W. Bush blames her for the failed invasion of Iraq.
I mean, probably. It's more of an Ashley Simpson issue. In 2010, she was in the VH1 series The Price of Beauty, where she traveled the world investigating beauty standards in various cultures. I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna watch it. That sounds awesome. I would rather see her sent to various countries than Carl Pilkington, and I love Carl Pilkington.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just watching her react to things
Yeah.
might be like, today we're teaching Jessica. That's what we call it, teaching Jessica. And like just every day something like, quite frankly, it doesn't even have to be that fascinating. Like, Jessica, have you ever wondered how the water in your faucet gets to your house? I have. Actually, probably, let me be more accurate. I never have.
Yeah, but it should be topics that don't threaten my intelligence. It should be stuff that I know.
I thought I'd
God
moving
damn it.
along.
She released a second Christmas album also in 2010 and got engaged to former NFL tight end and Yale graduate Eric Johnson, whom she would have
There
a
you go.
filthy out-of-wedlock child with. In 2012, she fired her dad as her manager. Also in 2012, her parents got divorced after her mom found pictures of her dad posing with 21-year-old Bryce Chandler Hill, a male model, inside their home. She had never met this guy and was concerned about it. Also, he was bragging online about an ongoing affair. And Joe issued a denial that he was a homosexual and went on an emergency vacation to Hawaii with his wife. That didn't help.
Oh, wait. There were so many facts in there. What do you mean posing?
So they were like, so she went online or wherever and found a bunch of pictures of the two of them, like, just doing like a shot where they're like standing next to each other, like arm around this kid. But it was like, she'd never met this guy. He's obviously quite attractive.
Okay.
And it was inside of their home when she wasn't there.
Slightly better. It's not great.
Worse, I think.
Well, here's what I was picturing. When you said posing, I was like, were they doing like the Charlie's Angels, like back to back with the finger guns? Or
Maybe.
like,
I haven't seen the pictures. They might have been.
Were they costumed?
Were they de-costumed?
Yeah, that's also possible.
Yeah. Also, Joe was spending a lot of money on this guy from their joint bank account.
What does that mean?
Like buying him gifts and stuff. Didn't have a secret bank account like you're supposed to.
Okay, please don't get us off on tangents. You and I have had friends for years. I've never spent any money on them.
Right. This is a 21-year-old male model, and he's like 55.
Okay, he's fucking this guy.
Yeah,
allegedly.
of course he is, allegedly. He was also making a lot of fashion choices that were allegedly suspicious for a straight man.
And then also, they went on an emergency vacation to Hawaii with the wife.
Yes, that didn't help. In 2014, Jessica got married to Eric Johnson, and Joe brought a different male model, I believe, as his plus one. It was somebody he often shot for his apparent photography business that wasn't mentioned until this point.
This guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Does he have an album? Can we do a song by Joe Simpson?
Garrett, all of this is to say this whole thing seems like people are blowing some minor details out of proportion. This seems wholly on the level. I think people should just let him be the straight man that he is without any further questions.
Wow. That's fascinating. God, I mean, I simultaneously cannot help but laugh and feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, again, we should live in a society where this isn't... Part of the problem, though, is, again, the history of a Christian Baptist minister and therapist.
Yeah.
That it's like, I think you can condemn a Republican congressman for their Minneapolis bathroom trysts, not so much because they're having gay sex in bathrooms, but because they're, oppressing the homosexual community while doing it.
Yeah. But Joe's being a good boy. He's letting people live their life. He's just vehemently denying that he's part of that community.
Yes. And also, I think I'm suspicious of that wayward youth program he was running, allegedly.
Oh my God, you're right. Okay, let's keep going. Jesus.
Jessica was then in the NBC show Fashion Star and did a deal with Weight Watchers to publicly lose baby weight, which is weird. on their programs or
weird.
something. She released more scents, had more kids, and released a memoir, Open Book, in 2020, in which she details alcohol and prescription drug addiction, past sexual abuse, and John Mayer. Also, a bunch of stories about how it's her dad's journey and she's not going to comment on it. She also released 6 songs as part of the book, which is not how books work, notably.
Not really how albums work either.
Absolutely. And, I mean, that's kind of it. She's more of a businesswoman. She seems to be doing quite well at that. She's a reality TV star and not really a musician. The end. Le Fes.
And a Shadaboof to you. Good history, Tim. I honestly, I just want to know more about Joe Simpson. That guy's life is perplexing.
I can invite him on the show.
I don't want to be in the same room as him.
I mean, more realistically, I don't think we should let him around our interns.
Yeah, that's true. Some of them are
boys.
Well, they're meant to be very clear.
They're all 18 to 21. We, for whatever reason, the contract specifies it.
Neither of us wrote that.
No, that was all Gino.
Anyway, let's keep moving. Good Lord. Great history. That brings us to general thoughts. I think I can kick us off by saying most of these songs, if not all of them, are all kind of sound the same.
Yes, this is very homogeneous.
Yeah, and very generic, like pop music.
Yeah, this seems designed so that any of these songs could replace any of these other songs on the radio for maximum effect.
Yes, they almost sound like the non-licensed free versions of real pop songs.
Yes, absolutely. Is she good at singing?
Oh, no. However, okay, well, Aretha Franklin's good at singing.
Okay, sure. For a Britney Spears type career, for what she is she good at singing?
I actually think she's a better natural singer than Britney Spears. Britney managed to make herself more of a brand by like embracing her weird baby doll voice, which not my liking, but she made it her thing. So great. Sure. I think Jessica is actually a better natural singer.
I agree.
She's no Christina Aguilera, though.
Right. I agree with that as well. I think she is a perfectly serviceable singer. She seems like somebody who it was probably the best singer in her church choir.
Yeah. Did you ever see that second Addams Family movie where they go to camp?
Yes.
You remember the blonde girl at the camp that's just the best at everything? She reminds me of her. Like what that girl grew up to be.
Yeah.
It's like Amanda something, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. And so she can sing, at least for some basic ass bitch. I should mention that she is very traditionally hot. Like that has to be said.
Okay.
She's not what I would call beautiful. She's just traditionally hot.
Yeah, she has the like sorority girl look.
Yes.
Of like, she's very pretty, but you can also tell she comes from money. Like she wears that on her face somehow.
Yeah, it's very weird. How are you genetically affluent? But here we are.
Oh, you have a very fashionable father from a young age. That's how you look like that, Garrett. She wants to be sexy.
Yes.
She really, really wants to be sexy. This album is not sexy, though. It is uncomfortably, almost confrontationally sexual.
Yes.
The entire week walking around listening to this, I felt like I accidentally watched a movie with an unnecessarily graphic sex scene with my mother. It's just, this is the I want a dirty talk kind of person, and you're just like, I can already tell this isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
It's weirdly graphic, but it also has that sort of like 2 big bags of sand quality to it, where you're just like, you're super into something.
And that's a great distinction, because I was tempted at first to say it's like the Patton Oswalt joke, where you use like children's terms in place of sexy terms, and it's actually somehow worse, like I want to fill her with goof juice. But it's not that, because that's too specific, and that implies a certain knowledge.
Yeah,
she's got much more of a like, I've heard of like your bags of sand example. Like it's almost right, but it's 15 degrees wrong.
Yeah, right. She knows something happens in that bedroom, but like not exactly sure. Like, so at some point we both take our pants off, right? And then we like
that's gotta
clap
happen.
Our butts together.
Right. And 9 months later, I'll vomit a baby. Only if we kiss, though.
Right. And the fingertips, Garrett. We will get into fingertips.
Don't spoil the tip to tip. Okay.
Yeah.
Musically, they all kind of sound the same. Vocally, she's good enough. Themes. We mentioned the sexual nature, but I want to ask you this. Actually, I'll put it as a statement. Many of the Christian-oriented albums we've heard, even when they're not overt, there are direct references to God. I would say this album, she's so indoctrinated into that Christian world that she's like a level deeper, and she uses the terminology to describe her life. Like, things are blessed. She's blessed. Things are, like, she uses biblical language to describe normal life.
That's true. Yes. And
that's creepy.
It's all from, because there's a song I believe to be directly about this, about her dad giving her to her husband. It's going to come up and we're going to discuss it, Garrett. But there's this whole like, yeah. You remember when you had your purity ceremony with your father? No, I sure don't. I don't remember that at all. Did that happen to you?
Hyman?
Oh, God, we're going to bleep part of that. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see which part.
I think I might bleep everything except for the word hymen and just let...
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, she was potentially abused in a very unconventional way.
She was abused by Christianity in general.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's
fair
what
enough.
I mean.
She also, so we should note, she has writing credits on 9 out of 11 of these songs. There's your 9/11 reference for this episode.
Wow.
There's 20 total people with songwriting credits on this album. So I'm tempted to say that some of those songs she has like a writing credit on. She changed a word or whatever. I don't think so, Garrett. I think she wrote a lot of this. Because
I can really feel Jessica in these songs.
Yes. Some lyrics on this album rank among the dumbest things I've ever heard, not just on this show.
In life.
Yeah, like confusing metaphors that they just seem very childish. And I think it's accurate.
Yeah, I'll go even a step further. I will say some of these metaphors, not metaphors. Anyway, that's everything I need to say for general thoughts. What else do you have?
I think that's good.
Lovely. Well, then let's get on into it. Song by song time. Cue it up, Gino. Track number 1, Sweetest Sin.
Starting off with a Diane Warren original.
Hard to ignore. You can really taste the Warren.
Yes, and that is important to remember when we discuss the lyrics.
Of course.
Because there are claims that this is a song about Nick Lachey and her relationship with him.
Fascinating pronunciation. Don't want to correct you.
Lachey? Is it Lachey?
It's almost certainly Lachey.
Well, that's dumber.
It's not good. Anyway.
Yes. Starts off with piano and one of those wind chime instruments, although I believe it to be a synth version of that.
Yeah, although I will say this album makes more use of the wind chime than any album I've heard in recent memory.
Fair enough.
If you enjoy moaning and wind chimes, this is for you, because almost every song starts with both.
Yes. This one, for example, we start off warbling, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Almost doing a Britney. Hashtag let's check on Britney. Let's get that going. Once we get past the wind chime and the piano, we get into the meat of the song, and boy, do I have some thoughts.
Right, because this is a song, Garrett, that was written by somebody who has never had sex.
Wow. Definitely. Song goes. Can you imagine us making love? The way it would feel the first time that we touch. Can you think of it the way I dream of it?
Stop right there. Right there. So far, yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah, I can 100% picture me having sex with Jessica Simpson. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, you are. You can always tell when you're picturing it. Okay.
Anyway, let's continue. I want you to see it like I'm seeing it. It's a picture of perfection. The vision of you and I.
Let's stop right there again. Garrett. Okay, I'm in.
I can't imagine what I'd rather do than hear Jessica Simpson describe us having sex, she and I. Your lips upon my lips. Can you picture this? Yes, that's pretty traditional. I think I understand what you mean by that. I'm not exactly on board with kissing, but for you, Jess, why not? Your fingertips on my fingertips. Your skin upon my skin would be the sweetest sin. That would be the sweetest sin. Yeah. Question time. Tip to tip.
Not the traditional tip to dip here.
No. Good point. In fact, I don't want there to be any confusion. So Jessica, singing to you, we're going to have so much awesome sex. We're going to kiss each other. Okay, it's not sex, Jessica, but continue. And then I'm going to get my hands, right? And I'm going to touch. Okay, first stick out your hand. Okay, are you ready for this? Oh my God, you're going to love this. Okay, now spread your fingers really wide. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my hand here and I'm going to put my fingertips on your fingertips. You enjoying that?
Yeah, so it's all 10, right? It's 10 tips on 10 tips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and aggressive making out.
Yes. So again, this has been claimed repeatedly to be about Miss Simpson losing her virginity to Nicholas Lachey? No, Lachey. It's definitely not, though. It could theoretically be about Diane Warren losing her virginity to him.
See, now I think it's a story about Diane Warren failing to lose her virginity because this is how she talks about intercourse.
Possibly. But also, we know for a fact that Jessica Simpson doesn't know how it's done. So what if it's this? What if, to document the special occasion, Nick and Jessica invited our girl Diane over to watch them and then describe the act and the overwhelming emotion in song as only she is capable of? And
I mean, that sounds completely logical.
This is the best she could do. She was like, okay, I have to be truthful. I can't say they completed the act because they definitely didn't.
He might have still gotten there.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah. I just she's taking notes in the corner.
Right. They've disrobed. They're getting on the bed. I think we know where this is going. Pretty heavy making out. And, tips. Touching tips there.
She is completely suspended in the air. He is holding her up only by 10 tips.
Oh, wow. This is very impressive. She seems to be having a great time. Lachey, disappointed.
Yeah.
All night I lie awake because it's too much to take, dreaming about the love that we could make. All day I think of schemes to get you next to me. I want you so bad that I can barely breathe. It's a sign of my obsession that I can't stop thinking about.
I don't think she really needs to scheme very much, or not as much as she thinks to get laid, right? I mean,
no, she's gorgeous.
Okay. This might be Diane Warren's experience, though, not Miss Simpson's.
Exactly. That would make more sense. And I do want to point out, let me read it less dramatically, just for funsies. All night I lie awake, because it's too much to take, dreaming about the love that we could make. All day I think of schemes to get you next to me. I want you so bad that I can barely breathe. It's a sign of my obsession that I just can't stop thinking about you. That's great when it's coming from Jessica Simpson.
Oh,
if this is coming from somebody just random or even ugly listeners, write in hatePodMail@gmail.com. You know who you are. You can't say shit like this to people or you're going to get a restraining order.
Well, think about this. What if one of your poems had have ended like this?
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, one of my poems in high school definitely could have ended like this because I was lying awake all night thinking of girls in my class and thinking of schemes to get near them.
Right. Just don't tell them about the schemes. You don't need to use the word scheme.
Yeah. Literally any other word. But it's just interesting. It is the privilege of the beautiful that they just get to say how much they want to fuck everybody because everybody wants to fuck them.
God, you're bitter.
Whatever. Well, listen, I am one of the rare situations where I spent the first half of my life in one camp and the second half in the other.
Yes, but you're a guy, and it's still not socially acceptable for you to go around talking about how you want to make love to people.
I disagree.
Okay, I'm going to be hosting this podcast alone for a few weeks because Garrett's going to get himself into some trouble.
Listeners, write in. Hey, no, I'm kidding. Please don't.
Listeners, try to seduce Garrett.
Oh, that's a fun game. Good luck. It's
remarkably difficult. I suggest if I could give anyone a tip, when you're sending him, specifically Garrett, your nude photos in an attempt to seduce him, make sure that you're a lady.
Yeah, that's going to get you a lot further down the road. I was going to just stop you and say, just don't bother anybody, but I'm glad you said that. Good tip.
Right. If they're lady pictures, you want them.
No, don't send us any photos. Seriously.
No.
That happens from time to time. Don't do that.
Does it? I'm sure you delete these
I
before.
delete them. Yeah, I immediately
That's
delete them.
smart.
It's like, nope, we're not doing that. Flattering, but bye-bye. Yeah, so this is all a joke. Please don't. Thank you. All right, then we get, let's see. It would feel so good to be bad. You don't know how bad I want that. I would do anything to feel your, and then the chorus again.
Right, because she doesn't know what she's supposed to. She doesn't know what the end game is. Like, I mean, look, of course it would be too much to expect this to veer off into Red Hot Chili Peppers Stretch You Out territory. See the now classic Red Hot Chili Peppers Stretch You Out prepisode. But does it just go back around to touching tips? Because that's what the chorus is.
That's how you get there with Miss Simpson, at least the early days. But, okay, maybe there's two things going on here. Maybe she's hoping her partner, the person she's singing to, is going to fill in the blanks. Like, she literally lets off the bridge with, I would do anything to feel your ... She's like, and then we could go in the bedroom, take off our clothes, and then you would naturally put your...
Tips on
penis?
your tips.
Penis? Yeah. And then you'd take your penis and you'd put it in your vagina. Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Oh, really? I mean, yay. Yeah, it's the first time she's hearing of this, so it's actually somewhat shocking. You're going to do what? I don't go past shortstop. What the fuck is shortstop? That's fingertips to fingertips. Oh, Jessica, you know that the bases are where you stop in the game, so you wouldn't really... Oh, God, you're stupid. Oh, God, you're so stupid. You know what? Take your clothes off. Let's touch palms. This seems fine. Yeah, I'm always asking for a bit more. Let's keep going. Track number 2. It's not going to get better from here, folks. With you.
I can let my head down. I can say anything.
Oh, we get a little more poppy here. This was a little bit more than what I was expecting.
Yeah, if I've heard a song by her, it's probably this one. It sounded vaguely familiar, but who knows?
Right. And this seems to be a song about how the polished, sophisticated Jessica Simpson we're all used to, it's not really who she is at heart. She's really down to earth if you get to know her.
Well, that's the fun part. It starts pretty declaratively towards the I'm actually just kind of a down-to-earth girl. But as the song continues, it gets a little more like vague and weird.
It sure does.
And so I'm starting to go like, I don't know if you're so much like down-to-earth and relatable as possibly like super offensive and unpredictable.
Right, anoxic brain injury.
God damn. Drop one kid on the back of there. All right. Song begins. The real me is a southern girl with her Levi's on and an open heart. Wish I could save the world like I was Supergirl. I don't love songs where you tell me how cool you are.
Sure. And I don't think she is, though. I think she...
Because it's sort of a humble brag.
How so?
I'm just a regular old southern girl with her Levi's. You don't have to think much of old me. Well, okay. You also like a billionaire.
Not yet.
Okay, multimillionaire.
Fair enough. Yes, fair enough. That's true. It's weird, though, that she, like, I don't understand the immediate turn to wish I could save the world. Because she's saying, like, the real me is this down-to-earth person. I wish I wasn't, though. Like, what?
Yeah, that's kind of confusing,
There's a
right?
jarring change there. Then the real me used to laugh all night, lying in the grass, just talking about love. But lately I've been jaded. Life got so complicated. Is it, though?
Yeah. Apparently she used to just lie in the grass having terrible conversations about love, but lately being an adult's really hard and she has to have like adult conversation.
I like the idea that she is just very literal with this. Like she used to laugh like all night. Like you'd get her going and then it was like an hour and you're just like, should I get her water? I don't...
Your face is blue. Oh, that's just Jessica. You leave her be. She'll laugh herself silly.
She'll laugh herself unconscious. Hopefully she'll take a breath then because, anoxic brain injury.
Good God. Jesus. Song continues. Oh, I start thinking about it. I almost forgot what it was like to know what it feels like. But with you, I can let my hair down. I can say anything crazy. I know you'll catch me right before I hit the ground with nothing but a t-shirt on. I never felt so beautiful, baby, as I do now that I'm with you.
Okay, lots in here. So
yeah. She's found someone she can be herself with.
Sure, she's found someone she can Donald Duck around.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. I love the line, I can say anything crazy. Like, you just, anytime I'm around you, like, you don't just judge me when I say the stupidest, most insane things. Like, you know, I talk about, like, we're just having a conversation, you know, and we're talking about the blue bonnets. I love blue bonnets. I don't like Jews, but I love the blue bonnets. And I'm sorry,
I think it's even crazier than that. So it's like crazy political opinions, much like Tim just gave an example of. I want to be really clear. That was a for instance. I want to go one step further. Still has like serious political hot takes. I'm pro death penalty. Oh, wow. Really, Jessica? You think people should be killed? No. I'm pro death penalty for killer whales. If those whales are going to be out there just killing people, we need to put a stop to it.
Vote George W. Bush.
Great. I'll do that. He's going to stop those murderous whales.
Yeah. But then it's
okay.
also coupled with her talking about, you know, buffalo wings and like, where are the wings on buffaloes? Is it under that weird hump thing?
So stupid.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But then again, okay, so, but it then goes to like, she needs a guardian, right? Because I can let my hair down.
I'm picturing her getting like blackout drunk and doing dangerous things and keeping like literally Nick Lachey has like a full grown blackout toddler.
Absolutely. Yes. I know. Exactly. Yes. She needs somebody to follow her around and make sure that she's okay. I know you'll catch me right before I hit the ground. It's like, this is gonna get bad. Like, you're gonna have to wrestle the keys from me on a nightly basis.
I start drinking and I want to do two things: climb shit and get to driving.
Yes.
Oh,
now,
shit.
She did have a apparently fairly serious alcohol and prescription drug problem, according to her memoir. But we're talking about the fun stuff. The fun.
Yeah.
She would
before
describe
it turns tragic.
Right. So I also feel like a bit of this it's directed specifically at Nick. She's saying, I appreciate you because you are also a moron and you don't judge me for being, you know, one of the 9 dumbest people on the planet.
Oh, so mean.
Listen, it's fine. She's doing quite well. I respect her as a businesswoman, and I would definitely watch her show about her going around and experiencing other cultures. I think she is fascinating.
Yeah, that's pretty respectful.
Real dumb.
Real dumb.
Yeah.
Hot, though. Anyway, you speak, and it's like a song. And just like that, all my walls come down, and it's like a private joke, just meant for us to know. I relate to you so naturally. What?
This is nonsense, right? It's the most banal description of a relationship. There's no insight whatsoever. It's just, you and your significant other relate to one another in ways you don't relate to other people.
Oh, you guys have inside jokes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dating. Or, you know, if we really want to follow the whole theme of the song, basically she's saying, you know, you allow me to really be me. So the reward for that is that I'm very attractive and as put together as humanly possible for the rest of the world. And privately, I'm a complete pile of shit for you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see. Song continues with ever more choruses and an outro. And that brings us to track number 3, My Way Home.
We've got a little bit of a Middle Eastern vibe, similar to Britney Spears' Toxic, although this did come out first.
I am definitely opens with some violin. I'm picturing the bazaars of Marrakesh.
Oh, yeah, that's sexy.
Is it?
Well, it's a little stinky, but it's pretty sexy. It's
yeah.
on
Get
film.
A
Let's say
monkey's
it's on
paw.
film.
There you go. Yeah, it's sort of a Disneyfication of it anyway.
Exactly.
We are talking about
Yes.
Jessica Simpson. Oh boy, this song is super boring, so I came up with an absolutely insane interpretation.
Excellent.
I'll just say that. She opens with, most of these songs have intros. We have by and large ignored them because they're not worth our time. But in this one, I will read it because it does pertain to my description. She opens with, I will give it all, implying she's going to give it all for something.
For the nookie.
You know what?
The nookie. The cookie. I did it
One of the
all
two.
for the nookie.
Right. I'd listen to that cover. Song begins. We've all been down that dusty road, trying to see round the bend in search of something. Lots of faces, different places. Emptiness has settled in. And then I saw him. What you got, Tim?
Post-apocalyptic wasteland, just like last week.
Yeah. Allow me to give us some fresh blood. I believe this song is about Agent Daisy Flanders, which is a combination of her Dukes of Hazzard character and a Simpsons reference. She has been sent to infiltrate, spy on on, and maybe even murder a man in the Middle East.
Oh.
She will give her all for this mission, and we've all been down those dusty roads trying to see around the bend who's lurking in search of something, someone, lots of faces, different places, emptiness has settled in, and then she saw him. But there's a catch. I'm the lover of your soul. Deep inside this man that I know,
Garrett.
she has fallen for her target. What? Don't say it.
I don't mean this in a romantic way. I mean this strictly platonic. I love your soul.
You have questioned the existence of my soul on more than one occasion. I apologize. You've questioned the ownership of my soul. Never mind. Okay. You've never questioned it's there. You've just questioned its allegiances. Thank you. A lover of my soul. I think I'm okay with that. You did clarify it was not romantic, and I appreciate you using the adult word for that. Sometimes you're gross. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with that. Do I love your soul? Am I a lover of your... You know when it's not costing me money? Yes. I reciprocate your soul love.
Excellent. Mark it down, Gino. That's 2 loves. Reciprocal.
That's
R-E.
That's
God damn it.
terrible. It's not even close. Is that a K?
It doesn't matter, Garrett. Vision perfect.
You know what I found the other day? So, folks, a little peek behind the curtain here. We've been working very, very hard to get Gino off the booze for a while now. And we had been making a ton of progress, but I found all these tiny cups crinkled up. Tim, he's been getting methadone.
Really?
Yeah, like clearly at a clinic. I don't know the name of it, but the address was in New Jersey. I don't know how to feel about that.
Did he have a problem where he needs methadone, or is this an additional issue?
That's that. Okay, so you really kind of hit to the root of it. I don't know. He's not boozing anymore, and he's become less violent, so I'm pro that, but that would certainly explain all of the napping. You know what? I say we let it ride for now. He seems happy about it, although he seems pretty stoked about most things these days. He's all whacked out on methadone. All right, Chilling Tale continues. Vision picture... Oh, God, these words are bad. Vision, picture perfect world as you focus in the lens. Fairy tale begins. I'm so happy that I found you. I just want to break down and cry and laugh and hug and kiss. I think she's trying to picture a world where no one does anything wrong as she takes these photos or possibly sights this man in the scope of her rifle, and she's conflicted with her job versus her horniness.
Yes. It's important to note that she doesn't really understand it, but
It's never been an issue before because she's not familiar with the mechanics.
Incredibly horny, yes. He can take me to heaven. That's why I need him, and I want him. There's no one I'll ever love. No other can touch him. I will promise you with all that I am. She wants to be inside of that man, and she doesn't really understand.
I was going to correct you, but you might be right.
Those are the actual words, yes. So I feel like this is
the
it.
only
So
thing we know
is-
for sure is she wants to touch tips.
Yes, absolutely. But she does just stay specifically deep inside that man that I know. I think what's going to happen is here, so she has decided she is going to protect this man. She's not going to kill him. She's going to date him in Marrakesh or wherever.
Sure.
But no one else gets him.
Right.
So the only way now that the CIA can get her to kill him is to seduce him. So now the CIA's got to do some sort of double reverse honeypot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because she's not going to kill him either.
No. They have to seduce him with somebody else so that she gets jealous and kills them both. So it has to be somebody expendable.
Oh, well, I think the entire active force of the CIA is technically under the expendable column.
Oh, sure. Right. But
That's why they get those stars on the wall. Right. And extra sexy.
That's true.
How are you going to lure this dude away from Jessica Simpson?
Well, pretty easily if she doesn't know the mechanics of it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, literally after the first day, if all she's doing is holding out her fingertips.
Yeah.
Although I say 2004 Jessica Simpson gets on my bed nude with her fingers out displayed. I'm just like, all right, I'll see where this goes.
Well, sure. But is she going to be nude? Because maybe
that's true. She's never specified. God, is she fully clothed? That is not how I've been picturing this.
No gloves, Garrett. That's raw tip-to-tip action.
Oh, you know what? Let's use protection. Puts on some weight gloves, fingerless gloves. Ooh, or really uses protection. Puts on those Billy Ray Cyrus knuckleless gloves. Full tip coverage. Just keeps those knucks exposed.
Interesting. But why?
Nobody knows. All of this is very confusing. All right. The tale continues. Oh, actually, I was going to say, he can take me to heaven. Big twist. Did he actually end up convincing her with his dogma? So attracted physically. And then he's like, you know what? If I told you about the 72 virgins?
Oh. See, that's real dangerous because she could be turned
so
so
horny.
easily. Yeah.
She's so horny.
Yeah, and so
literally
trusting, which is not
so
a great.
trusting.
It's not a great attribute.
But she's
for
great
your
at making
CIA
friends
agent.
quickly.
Sure, but then she immediately goes onto their side.
Yeah, that's the problem. She needs to literally be the lure, and then you bring in, like, I don't know, what's the opposite of Jessica Simpson?
Vin
Rachel
Diesel.
Dratch.
Oh.
Let's go with yours. Yeah, so you lure him in with like, hey, you want to talk about Chicken of the Sea? And they're like, yeah, I'll talk to you about anything, whatever. And then, after like 6 minutes, she's like, I have to run to the bathroom. Oh, and then Chris Hansen comes out.
Or what about this? Okay, so she goes to the bathroom where she seamlessly switches places with Vin Diesel in a blonde wig who comes out to do the rest of the mission.
So much more. Oh, that's so much better. I had to take a huge shit. You seem different.
And here's the great thing about it. Vin Diesel has a twin, so if he's killed in action, just get that twin.
God, this is all starting to add up. All right, then we get the chorus again with some extra goes attached to the end, and that brings us to track number 4, I Have Loved You.
The world comes tumbling down and crumbles all around.
This song is a poignant description of unfulfilled desire, loss, and the cruelty of a random and uncaring universe.
I thought it was about the invasion of Earth or possibly an Armageddon situation. Are
Garrett,
we close?
It's about the thing I said. Now, it's unclear why it's on this album, and it clearly doesn't represent her experience at all, but that's okay because this is the other song she doesn't have a writing credit on.
Oh, okay. Well, take me through it then. You seem to have a really tight beat on it.
Remember the blue sky, the sun reflected in your eyes, kissed me unexpectedly, a moment I just can't forget. We filled the air with promises, took them so tenderly. But, life never asks you what you want. It's just gonna have its way. Sometimes it doesn't give like it takes. She's remembering this brief moment of happiness. Well, she's not, whoever wrote this song, that was then stripped away from her cruelly by, an uncaring universe.
Sure, but in what manner did the universe personify this theft?
Well, I assume that her guy was like struck by an asteroid or something, possibly mid-kiss. If I never see your face, if wings take you away from me and tomorrow never happens, baby, if the world comes tumbling down and crumbles all around us, fate turns cruel, you're on your knees, so desperate for one truth, know that I have loved you. This is a song. So she is mature enough. She knows that what they had, it's beautiful even if it was fleeting, Garrett. It's gone, but that the temporary nature of the love is kind of what makes it so special,
Oh, see, now I'm close here.
I'll write another letter or watch another pink sunset without thinking about you? I'd take a walk along the blue seaside. How will I sleep at night? How will I wipe the tears from your eyes?
Okay, we're very close here. I think this is a dark side situation. She talked about somebody literally flying him away.
Oh.
I think this is an alien invasion. He is leading the resistance, and this is their last night together. Very Armageddon style. Only instead of an asteroid, it's, aliens.
Okay, so Darkseid does a little scouting before he comes to Earth. He meets Jessica Simpson. They fall in love. It's time for the invasion.
Okay, you're taking my thing a really different direction.
Right.
So hold on. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so she's sitting there. He's putting the animal crackers on her boobs instead of Ben Affleck.
He's voiced by Ben Diesel. Yeah, go ahead. Vin Diesel. Did I say Ben?
I think you might have. Osama Bin Diesel. Oh,
yes.
We'll probably have to cut some of that. Anyway, so instead of Ben Affleck, it's Darkseid. I hope everybody's up to date on their DC characters. If not, sorry. Darkseid, he's doing a little animal cracker thing to, Jessica Simpson's song. And basically, they're talking about, baby, I love you. And if I don't make it, because it's Vin Diesel, if that goddamn Superman beats me, I just want you to know we're family. Okay, I like this. So it's not from the perspective of the heroes.
Well, it is sort of, because their love is what makes them the protagonists of this.
Sure,
right?
but Superman is the good guy.
No. He's the one keeping them apart.
Right, but Darkseid's trying to take over the planet, Tim.
Right, but, maybe he'll do a good job. You never know.
Without a single hesitation, without thought or reservation, baby, I'll be waiting. So even if the Justice League defeats you and you're murdered or sent back to...
Apocalypse.
That's right. God, I knew one of us would remember. Nerd. Yeah, sent back to Apocalypse. She'll be waiting for Granny Goodness to either come and take her there or in their sweet salvation in heaven or hell. I don't know where Darkseid's going. They'll be reunited.
Have you seen those rock boots that he wears, Garrett?
No, yeah, he's going to hell.
What? No. Okay, well...
You think those shoes are going to be stylish enough for heaven? I love it. Okay, I like it. Now, let me ask you this. She doesn't think she'll write another letter or watch another pink sunset without thinking of her dearest Darkseid.
That's right.
Did they write a lot of letters and stare at sunsets together? Is that the thing?
Well, no, she's lamenting the fact because she doesn't really have his address on Apocalypse, right? So she's just, there's no way she's going to ever be able to do those things without thinking of him because,
right.
you know, she misses him. She misses her boo.
What's the zip code in Apocalypse? I don't know. Apocalypse?
I read somewhere
also,
on the...
everybody knows Darkseid loves a good sunset.
That's
I
true.
hate your planet and I shall rule it,
Well,
but...
because his planet
I
is
like
more
the
of
way
a...
your
It's like got a
sunsets.
red sky, so it kind of reminds him of home, you know?
It's just kind of, oh, I see. For that briefest of moments, I am remembered of my home world. Okay.
I read somewhere on the interwebs, I'm unsure of exactly how true this is, that she would frequently sing this song at concerts when she was performing for the troops or like USO shows or something like that. It seems mean-spirited, misguided, right? Like,
yeah, because it's about all of them dying.
right, let's remind all of these people about how their loved ones will feel after they die thousands of miles away from home for the enrichment of monsters.
Yeah, god damn.
Be sure to vote George W. Bush.
God, you know what though?
He was a good president. We can say it. Garrett, we
That's
can
not what I was
say
going to say at all. I was just going to say, given where things have gone, I would be pretty okay with a George W. Bush these days.
Well,
God, that might even be a bit too far. By
I
modern
would-
standards, he's not a monster.
Still quite the monster, Garrett. You remember those million people that died as a result of his actions? How about this? Were he to run, I would vote for him in the Republican primary over at least one other person.
That's at least true, but can't forget about me, man, when you get to the general election. Hard to resist this cool guy.
Track number 5, Forbidden Fruit.
No going back from here. I'm scared it'll lead to tears. Patience, boy.
We start out with some strings and a fat beat, Garrett.
That's exactly what my notes say. Oh, you're reading my notes. I see.
Yes, that's
Stop
right.
that.
This is more talk about sex from somebody that has definitely never made the sex yet.
I think, Tim, this is her secret story. The forbidden fruit is her cheating on her promise to her father to not have sex.
Oh, she didn't do that. Come on.
I don't know, man. I think maybe she finally figured it out, used that interweb, www.howdoessexwork.com, and
Do not
she figured it out.
www.howdoessexwork.com. Garrett bought that domain. We obviously can't say it on air if he didn't. And, well, it's Shaved Bear's Mr. Hands.
I don't actually know what's at that URL, so I'm just going to proactively say I don't own it. Whatever's going on there. So just to be super clear, but I do invite our listeners to go there. That's www.howsexworks.com. Great stuff. Okay, song begins. There's a game you want to play. There's a risk you would like to take, but words can't change what you feel inside. There'll be no going back from here. I'm scared it'll lead to tears. I think Jessica has a hard time meeting people out there on the road that won't immediately tell her father that she has been unfaithful. God, it still sounds wrong.
Unfaithful to her father and her promise of virginity to him. Yes, I think it sounds completely reasonable. I feel like he's got a series of spies out there everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they're watching, and it's probably no simple accomplishment to bang some dude on the road.
So you want to play a game? You want to play a game? Yeah, I feel like there's a chance of a Saul-like mangling involved here, though.
Oh, interesting. The trick is she lures them in, but because she has absolutely no idea how it works, she gets frustrated and then murders them.
Or perhaps it just goes so incredibly badly that they are incredibly injured.
Oh, all right. Now put your foot here, and I'm going to put my elbows back here, and then I'm just going to flip your body over. I don't think this is right. Trust me. Okay, you're Jessica Simpson, and I think this is going to end in sex, so I'll let you fling my body backwards.
That's because www.howsexworks.com is mostly just those French acrobats that do that weird, uncomfortable circus thing.
Just hopping on each other's bodies all the time.
Yeah.
Patience, boy, and I will decide.
Okay. I don't like that. I'm just going to say it.
If your kiss is sweet enough, if I want to feel your touch.
So, okay, based on that right there, patience, boy, and I will decide if your kiss is sweet enough, if I want to feel your touch. So there's like auditions, and she's like, oh, well, maybe this explains all of that edible lipstick. She's just kissing these boys, and she's like, none of these guys are sweet enough to let me feel their touch.
None of y'all taste like caramel popcorn.
Or French onion
correct.
soup.
Oh, gross. Nobody wants your weird food-flavored anything. Song continues. You should know I can read your mind. If the deal is worth the pain, if you just won't die of shame, I'm tempted to try.
Maybe she thinks that all of the guys she encounters also have some sort of masochistic and incredibly inappropriate relationship with their fathers that they are terrified to break as well. So she is concerned that like she feels bad that she's tempting these people.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, what you're joking about is almost certainly reality.
Ew.
Most people don't know they're in a cult.
That's
That are in a
true.
cult. And so she probably assumes everybody goes to a purity ceremony with their father and pledges their undying chastity to them.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what happened, though. So yeah, she feels bad that she would even consider giving her physical body to another person and putting them in jeopardy of having to lie to their father about their penetrative sex.
If you taste this fruit forbidden to eat, you can drink this wine from a love so deep, I dance for you. Let you come within if you swear to me that it ain't no sin. This is not how sex should be described. Taste this fruit, drink this wine from a love so deep, I dance for you, let you come within. Dude.
Gross. Yeah, it's back to your original comment. It's somebody with a very loose grasp on sexuality attempting to do dirty talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loose grasp on both sexuality and reality.
Yeah, there's that too. Also, maybe just not the best grasp on the English language.
Maybe.
Limited vocabulary.
Yes, but there's all those producers and other co-writers to help, correct her wrongs. Why?
I mean, I would not be surprised to learn if you taste this fruit forbidden to eat, you can drink this wine from a love so deep is the best take.
I assume that there's a lot of like she gets Nick or one of these boys pledged to their fathers that she's meeting on the road into a hotel room, and she's like, "Would you like me to dance for you?" And you're like, and they're just like, "Yeah, all right, that works." And then she just does like her stage dance, and then she's like, "All right, you can go."
I want to do something naughty. How about you? Yes, I do. All right, you sit right on the edge of that bed. Fantastic. All of a sudden, like 3 choreography dancers come in, and she's got a full backup crew, and there's 3 outfit changes, and
yeah, there's like $150,000 worth of lights in the room that you didn't notice until just then.
43 very entertaining, if not uncomfortable minutes later, she's like, "Was it good for you?" And you're like, "Not really." I mean, I came twice.
Yeah.
But that guy was watching, and it was weird.
And now I might be into that. I don't know.
I don't know. God, yeah. God, remember that old axiom? Be careful what you try.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case you're super into it. Words to live by.
Absolutely.
When I first read this, I think you've clarified it for me. Because I didn't do the history, so I didn't know she had pledged her virginity to her father. Boy, that's never going to stop being weird. When I first read this, I'm thinking she's talking about, forbidden love and it would be a sin. And I'm just like, okay, like, is she worried that like they might be underage? But no. Now I understand the sin and the forbidden. It's all just the parent pledges. Maybe we're just a different generation, or maybe she grew up with truly psychotic parents.
I mean, I think she's approximately your age.
Oh, you're right. She is my age.
Yeah.
If not your age, one of our ages or directly between the two. But in any event, like just the very idea of my parents being like, "Garrett, I'd like to talk to you about your sexual habits." Just be like, "What?"
Habits is the word you chose to use. That's telling.
How so?
Habits.
Like, sexual activity?
Maybe that's better. But like habits implies that like you've got a routine that's all your own, and you know what? It's just,
I do.
It's disrupting.
I do have. I've got moves, Tim.
It's disrupting this family's life.
I will tell you what I told them when we had this conversation. I am a very sexual being.
Yeah,
that's it. Full stop.
That's true.
That means I'm going to be that way everywhere on everything.
You don't have to, though.
I think I do.
That's
part of my habits.
You want want to know, there's a place you want to go. Take your time and love will delight. There are wonders everywhere. There are mysteries to share. Be gentle, boy, and it will be all right. I don't know what this is. I wish this was just like Red Hot Chili Peppers inappropriateness. It's worse.
Yeah.
It's way worse.
It's mercurial. When I first read it, what I thought I was reading is, listen, I finally figured this sex thing out, and it turns out most men I have it with, it doesn't go very long. So maybe like, I get what you want to do, maybe take it slow, and we'll all have a great time, but like, I don't know, for like the first half, maybe you keep your pants on. But now I don't think it's that at all. Now I think it's a complete lack of understanding of what's about to transpire, and so she's legitimately warning him to be careful.
Right. There are genuine mysteries coming up.
All right, let me get the crossword out. The what? What are we going to do?
I'm sorry, that's what I call the newspaper. That doesn't help.
That's even more confusing. We're going to have intercourse, right? Yeah, as I understand it.
Stop qualifying it like
Yeah,
that.
you keep adding caveats to your sentences.
Yeah. Then we get the bridge and the outro where she says, you want to taste it, I want to taste it, over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to dance for us.
I think she just likes to be on top.
Maybe. I think that this is her. She assumes that other people taste like she does, like everyone's got caramel fudge brownie eyeliner on.
You taste terrible. What kind of edible makeup are you wearing? What? Lady, you are a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a fruit roll-up.
Accurate.
Track number 6, Every Day, See You.
I got someone I can talk to, 'cause
I want to begin by saying I really dislike this song.
Absolutely. I agree. I find it insulting.
That's not what I was going to say. That's even better. Let's get into it. Sometimes the breaks don't go my way.
Untrue.
Sometimes there's no good news today.
Untrue.
Sometimes it all just hits the wall.
Untrue.
Sometimes I think it's all my fault.
That one might be true.
But yeah, but I'm not stressing out. You know, I could be downtown, lost in the crowd.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Garrett? Is she okay? Here's what I think she's saying right from this point on. Listen, sometimes, some things just, they don't go my way. Like, you stub your toe, maybe somebody double parked and it's a little bit inconvenient. But listen, I could be downtown. I could be a prostitute down in Midtown, lost in the crowd.
Okay. I took it as much more insulting to you and I. I took it as, sometimes life doesn't go so great, but it doesn't get me down because I still don't have like a normal job that forces me to go downtown and be another nameless, faceless, anonymous loser whiling away the time until they can finally retire and move to a mediocre existence where they'll be forgotten.
Yeah.
I'm Jessica fucking Simpson. Everybody knows me.
I think that's right. She is comparing herself to the cockroaches that the rest of us are.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Tim. I absolutely abhor. I listen to I listen to many podcasts. Got to keep an eye on the competition. But a couple of podcasts in particular where the hosts will spend a considerable amount of time talking about how thrilled they are that they don't have normal jobs. It's very off-putting to me.
It is. I agree. I mean, we don't have normal jobs. But
that is true, but it's not in that way. It's not fun.
No, God, no. We live in squalor. Well, Garrett lives in squalor. I steal from Garrett.
We have a lovely apartment. We have a very nice apartment in a lovely building. It is filled with strangers and garbage.
Yeah, and there's holes in the walls and
Sure.
Yeah, it's unpleasant in here. It's cold and drafty because of that hole in the. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. But the point is, I don't need her rubbing my face in our weirdly humid and yet cold apartment.
Absolutely.
But I got the sun when I need it. I got the moon. I've got someone I can talk to because I get to every day see you. I got the sun, got the moon.
That's not how
Big
that
question.
phrasing works, first of all.
No.
I get to
All
every
of it's
day
wrong.
see you.
Grammar, not her strong suit.
Yeah, it sounds like pre-edited Tim podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
Got to really pull everything together into proper sentences. It's more
You've
difficult.
gotten considerably better at it.
At editing myself after the fact. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, she's met some person. He's her everything, her sun, her moon. But I want to know, Tim, does this person know that? Is this like the barista at the Starbucks she goes to all the time? Or I think she has formed an unhealthy dependence on a therapist.
That could be, yes, somebody that's on call every day.
They're seeing them they get to every day see them because it's court mandated. And she, even if she's having a downtime, she knows that when she sees this person, she's going to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Enter the quote unquote metaphors. Raindrops, like ice cubes on the ground.
I think she just doesn't understand the concept of either snow or hail. It's like rain, but like really cold. Like it's rain that's as cold as an ice cube.
Yo, there's tiny ice cubes all over the ground. Snow? You mean snow? Yeah, but they're like little bitty cubes. Anyway, let's keep going. Raindrops like ice cubes on the ground, and a sound like people talking. There's a lot of things trying to keep me down, but I better just keep on walking. I hear the rain is as loud as ice cubes being hurled at the ground, and I hear voices. But I don't give in to these hallucinations, and that's not an expression.
Yes.
Ice cubes on the ground.
Absolutely. This is also not going to be the last time that she admits to having audible hallucinations.
No, it isn't. So that's why I think she's constantly meeting with a therapist. Song continues, because I'm not staying here and looking up at my forecast. It's clear. You wrap me up in blue skies whenever you are near. I'm not staying here and looking up at my forecast. It's clear. What?
It's stupid and poorly phrased. I think she says her life is so great she doesn't have to check the weather because it's always blue skies.
Oh, okay, Tim. Let me give you a new interpretation because, God, she's so childlike. Could this be an imaginary friend?
Maybe.
Maybe that's who she's seeing every day and is brightening her day. It's not really a person at all. Could be a Jolliver situation, although it wouldn't be Jolliver, that unhealthy flea-infested monster. We need a new name like Nigel or Levin Rock.
I don't like that last one.
Yeah, he seems like a kind of imaginary friend that would mete out justice. This is somebody that brightens her day.
I think her father would probably insist that his name is Papa Joe.
Ugh.
I know.
Ooh, maybe Levin Rock threatens to get revenge on Papa Joe and his demanding standards. I love you, Levin Rock. To be clear, folks, I don't know where that name came from. Jolliver at least was a combination of two suggestions. Ugh. Anyway, let's continue. I got my best friend. I got a lifeline. Feels like an angel's following on my heels. Hey, 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 you are my sunshine.
It's kind of a humble brag about how everyone just does things for her, Like, it's weird. Everyone's always complaining about how hard the world is. You just got your team that just takes care of your problems. I don't know what everyone's complaining about. I like how she's become
aggressively Southern.
She is aggressively Southern, Garrett.
I mean, she grew up in like North Dallas.
Yeah, aggressively Southern.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I do like that. Or potentially all of that talk therapy is being supplemented with some pretty heavy pharmaceuticals, and every day is blue skies and sunshine on those.
Yeah.
Unless it's lithium.
Well,
and then it's just manageable.
That's fine, though. As long as you don't have the highs, you don't have the lows.
Just constant gray. Track number 7, Underneath. She finally did it. She did it.
Yeah, and it's as weird as we all kind of thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, this is the gross song about banging they attempted to dress up with piano and strings.
Yeah, and warbling. So much warbling. Sometimes it's hard when you're so deep inside to see all you can lose in the blink of an eye. Dreams could be shattered. You could be gone. How would I survive? 'Cause you're where I belong, my soul believer. Without you, I don't know who I would be. Now, Garrett, I have gotten us matching anklets that say Soul Believer on them.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say t-shirts. I was picturing a ringed T that said Soul Believer in the same font as the Coca-Cola logo.
Ooh, I like that. And they could have arrows pointing at each other so we know that we are each other's soul believers. But also the anklets. If you keep laughing, I'm going to make it a toe ring.
I think I'd prefer it. At least I can put on tennis shoes and no one knows that's there. Anklet.
It's going to be anklets. It's going to be a huge toe ring, Garrett.
It's going to be elaborate.
Oh, underneath, I can feel you move through me.
Oh.
Inside out, you surround me. What? I breathe you like I'm taking my last breath. Oh, you're everything I know. So how could I let you go?
I think she likes to be on top, and she's drunk on this guy's fuck style, and he's got huge loads.
Is she putting stuff in him?
That's none of my business.
You surround me.
Inside out, you surround me. No, I think he's just like way bigger. We haven't mentioned this. She's a very small person.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, inside out though.
I think we moved
Yeah,
past
yeah.
that one.
So like inside out, you surround me. She's saying you fill me up and you envelop me with your body. Gross.
Fair enough. Then we get to a real weird admission. Sometimes I listen to a voice that isn't mine. I disconnect from everything inside, and I have made choices and wasted all the days I could have been with you where my heart stayed. I know you've waited faithfully, blessing our love even stronger. Now, the voice that isn't hers, we have some options here.
Yep.
One is this is her rejecting her dad's creepy ceremony, right? She's listening.
Good for her.
The whole time she's been listening, she's wanted to bang, and she's just been hearing her father's voice saying, don't bang. You owe me that
You didn't
virginity.
say the magic word.
But it gets weirder because sometimes I listen to a voice that isn't mine. I disconnect from everything inside. It feels like she's just, every once in a while, she just has an absence seizure and just like drifts off and hears voices.
No, okay, that's possible. I took it to mean, do you think she wanders like fugue state?
I think
or
she
do you
just
think she just stares off? Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I didn't want to give it short shrift. I assumed that what she's saying is she has been adhering to the if it's a different zip code, it ain't cheating rule, aka the on tour don't count rule, and been banging all these other dudes. But then when she gets home and she's like, oh man, I love you. Maybe I shouldn't have been doing that. And he's just been like naively sitting at home, like waiting.
No, I don't think so. I think this is her coming out party. What is weird is that she says, because I've wasted all the days I could have been with you, right? She could have been doing this whole time, and she knows he's waited faithfully, blessing our love even stronger. Now, here's the problem. I don't know if you know anything about 98 degroupies, as they're called.
They're not.
They are definitely called that. This is not Nicholas's first rodeo. He knows what he's doing.
What?
Nicholas moved through those 98 degroupies.
Oh yeah, I could imagine that.
Yeah. He's been soul believers with somebody else before.
Oh, sure. This is not his first time. I'm not even certain this is Nick Lachey. But boy, okay, I love this. So this is interesting. So you're saying, let's just pick on Lachey because we know that they did in fact get married. So he put in the work. He did the weeks and months and maybe even years of just fingertip to fingertip with heavy making out, fully clothed. God, knowing someday this is going to lead somewhere. Has to. And then finally he explains it to her in full detail and convinces her, no, your dad's wrong. We should be doing this. And she's like, oh my God, what have I been doing?
Yeah, he's great at it because of all those 98 degroupies.
Yeah, probably. Although, man, after like years of that buildup, probably not going to be great at it that first time out.
Well, listen, he's been doing the 98 degroupies like real recently.
Oh, I see. Just because I see.
He didn't make a promise to her father.
That's true. There's no ring on that finger or toe. And I've been blessed for every kiss, for every breath, and I've been touched by hands I trust. My love is risen. I've been blessed. Now, Tim, I have never once in my entire human life or any other used the phrase, I've been blessed.
Disagree. Well, no, I agree with the fact that you haven't. But
correct.
The problem is you've never been blessed, whereas me, I've been blessed.
With what?
In my before Garrett life, I had a lot going for me.
That's true. Yeah, you really did. You really were blessed. No, you weren't blessed.
I was
saying something
blessed.
What's kind of funny to me is in the context of this song, she's actually saying like, and I've been blessed for that sweet, sweet dick game.
Ugh.
Like kind of, because to your point, he's been hanging out with those 98 degroupies, getting, his fuck style nigh on buck wild. And then finally she's like, all right, we'll try your intercourse. That's a silly name. And then he's like, yeah, check this shit out. And she goes from level 0 to level 10 on day 1. No wonder she was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Hey, Dad, this is your daughter. You're a fucking idiot. I think the reason you didn't like it is because you like to fuck guys.
Allegedly.
Sure. Super allegedly. That guy could literally destroy our lives.
Yeah.
Please don't sue us.
Track number 8, You Don't Have to Go.
I can
Garrett.
So empowering.
No, it's not. This is gross. Garrett, this is a love song to her father about how she is leaving him to bang Nicholas, but she will always love him. I can only assume she seductively sang this song to her father at her wedding, maybe as she slowly took off that weird Christ ring and gave it to the man who has been thinking about her first time since she was 12. This is gross, is what I'm saying.
God, everything you said was gross.
Nicholas is just in the background with this, like, genuinely horrified look on his face. She says,
you're picturing her like coming out of the wedding cake, fucking Marilyn Monroe style.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday.
Except
Dad.
she's singing to her father, I don't need your strength anymore because you made me strong. You may not see the woman in me that you dreamed of holding me in your arms. All the days that you gave, all the moments you've saved me, praying for my life, sacrifice just to make me who I am on my own. You don't have to let go. You don't say it, but it's in your eyes. All the fears of goodbye, but I promise you'll always have a place and a way to my heart. But I'm going to have sex with Nick now.
I assumed that this song was about her firing her father.
Maybe, but that didn't happen for another 8 years.
Oh, God, then it's definitely the sex thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Daddy. You don't have to protect my chastity another moment.
Did you hear about our new Speaker of the House and his weird masturbatory app that he shares with his 17-year-old son?
No.
So he's got an app where it basically searches his phone and it records everything that he does on his phone and his iPad and his computer.
What?
And his son is his don't jerk off buddy and don't look at porn buddy. His 17-year-old son gets notifications if he looks at anything naughty, and I assume vice versa.
What?
Yeah, that's our new Mike Johnson, our new Speaker of the House. This is his relationship with his 17-year-old son. I say that to say that is more appropriate than this relationship.
God damn it. You're not wrong, but I also want to say that is the behavior of an insanely unhealthy, dare I say, skirting illegal relationship with your son.
Absolutely.
That is not how to have an open and honest dialogue about sex. That's creepy. Why are they so creepy, Tim?
Because, Garrett, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. I know we have a lot of very Christian listeners. It's the religion.
It really might be.
No, not might. It definitely is.
They're all so weird. Don't give your daughter's virginity another thought. You're welcome. Whoever needed to hear that. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
Good God. Ugh. Oh my God. I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, and maybe I shouldn't. But let's assume my mother was like, Garrett, I want you to know, I need you to promise me you will not have sex with a woman. I would vomit for a long time and then laugh and be like, nah, I'm going to definitely try to do that as soon as possible.
Yeah. Now, picture this, Garrett. Your father comes to you and he says, listen, I'm having a little problem with the internet pornography, and I need you to help me out. I need you to be basically my AA sponsor, but for my
accountability buddy?
Yes, that. Track number 9, Loving You.
I'm gonna keep on loving you.
I just want to say, for the record, this has all been deeply upsetting.
Absolutely. This song sucks.
Yeah, let's get into it quickly. Don't tell me it's time to go. I think my watch is too slow. Please, I don't want to go. Baby, what will it hurt if I stay until 9? And put your soft hands in mine. Boy, I think you should know. I'm not letting go. Couple theories. I'll give you 3 quick ones. Maybe 2. 1, we're only hearing one side of a conversation in which a guy is cheating on his girlfriend and is trying frantically to get his side piece to leave before she gets home.
Okay.
And she's like, don't tell me it's time to go. Honestly, I think my watch is too slow. I could just hang around. What's it gonna hurt? He's like, you really gotta go. Or conversely, it's not a side piece. He just finds her to be incredibly stupid.
Could be. I think this is her. She is saying this to Nick, right? She's like, don't tell. Look, I know we said you, my father also made you promise him. He gave you a ring too, but don't tell me it's time to go. Listen, I want to bang, but I promised my virginity to my father, and also you promised your virginity to my father.
Does dry humping count?
No. You know what? Let's do that. I can get on board with that. Not you and me, but
that's very clear. You did not need to clarify. No, I'm glad you did. Yeah, I picture a adult Nick Lachey being like, yeah, except for I'm tired of getting denim cuts on my wiener. Can we
that's
either
a real
just
thing.
that's a real real thing. God, you remember those days? Fucking high school. Yeah, we're going to do this for a long time because I am terrified to make another move. And also, I'm pretty stoked this is happening, but then you get home 3 hours later and you're like, why is my dick all shaved? Anyway, let's continue. Oh my. I don't want to have to say goodnight. Hold tight. I just want to stay and hold you tight. So right. Feels so right no matter what we do. I'm just going to keep on loving you. Strikes me as the kind of one of these people that comes over and then stays like 40 minutes longer than you want them to. Like, they're not doing anything wrong, and you're not even going to do anything cool when they leave. You're just fucking done being around people, and they can't take a hint.
Be alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, Tim and I have always had a very open and honest friendship, in which one of us will just turn to the other and say, well, get the fuck out.
Yep, and now we live together.
Yeah, so that just means go in the other room. Or I'm in the bathroom, why are you here?
That's fair. Oh my. Love me like the rainbow loves the light. Hold tight. Fills me like the raindrops kiss the sky. So right. I believe she wrote these lyrics.
It's a metaphor because it uses like or as. It is not because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you are missing part 2.
Oh, God. Love me like the rainbow loves the light. I mean, the rainbow loves the light in that it is light.
It is
light.
Stop trying to defend this. I know. Yeah, listen, Garrett.
Or what? Was I defending it?
She's not going to come for you if you defend this. You know that, right?
She might.
2003's Jessica Simpson will never be with you.
You don't know that.
I do.
Time travel could be real.
Oh. Well, she's still got that ring on. She seems pretty serious about it.
Well, hopefully she's still in the fingertip era and I can fucking rock her world. It was some pretty low effort sexual activity. It might not even technically break the ruls. We'll see.
Low effort sexual activity, the Garrett Harvey story.
That will be my third album. It'll be spoken word.
Couldn't even get the saxophone player in the studio this time.
There's going to be music. I'll just be speaking over it.
Oh, God.
Shatter style.
Track number 10, In This Skin.
The song is perplexingly long, and I account all of it for, it's a 4-minute and 18-second song, and I am fairly certain 3 minutes of it is the chorus.
That's true. It is a song about how she feels insecure, and I would argue she should feel insecure. But she should not feel insecure about her looks. She should feel insecure about her thoughts and statements and actions. Yeah.
Right. I would argue she shouldn't feel the least bit insecure at all.
Garrett, time travel doesn't exist, and even if you did, you're no Nick Lachey, or possibly Lachey.
Yeah, remains unclear. They see me in a magazine. I'm the one they want to be. Still don't feel I'm good enough. Still don't feel I'm thin enough. Let's stop there. We saw this exact song 20 years later with Olivia Rodrigo.
Absolutely. And we had an excellent David Beckham metaphor to explain the problem.
We did. I don't recall it, and I don't want to hear it again. But what I will say, this is maybe the only defense I will legitimately make for Jessica Simpson. The amount of times and the incredibly sickening number of ways that poor woman was probably reminded of her most minor of imperfections would probably drive you somewhat crazy.
Oh, that's probably true.
Yeah, like the shit, and being like a younger woman, the shit that people must have said to her, like even her own father, no having sex until I say so. Yeah.
Your breasts are too large for Christian music. Let's take you out into the pop world. I have an erection.
Listen, if people are going to be popping boners at your concerts, we can't have Christ in the back of the room.
I want to make love to men.
See you at dinner. I stand up and I'm pushed back down. And every opinion now, it makes me feel inhuman, given in and given up. That sounds horrible, authentic to her experience, and I do legitimately feel bad for what she had to deal with.
Absolutely. I think that it was probably, well, you know what? I don't know.
Fair enough. To be worthy, to feel beautiful in this skin, to feel beautiful in this skin. Sorry, be beautiful in this skin. Love me for me. Have confidence in this skin. Be confident in this skin. Oh, 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 oh.
And there's some background guitar work in here that just does not fit.
Was this the enter electric guitar because she's super angry?
Yes.
It is befitting of that young girl's solo in Repo the Genetic Opera.
Yes. I actually wrote that down as well. So this is a song that would have made a ton of sense had it been performed in Repo the Genetic Opera. Mm-hmm. But okay, and because it makes sense. So they talk a lot about skin, which was a theme there.
Yeah.
But okay, what if this is a song about this was intended as sort of a James Buffet or Jibu, as you like to call him, style advertisement for her sticky edible and also candida-filled beauty products, where she's just, listen, this is for all of us. We want to feel good in this skin. That's why we rub sticky, sugar-filled candy upon us.
I like the idea that the whole thing is like very much like a Revlon commercial or whatever, Maybelline. That's one. Maybe it's Maybelline. Like it's a full, completely normal makeup commercial with like a really good message. Be confident. Be comfortable with who you are. Maybe not as comfortable as Tim, but be comfortable in who you are. Also, you can eat it. And then like cut to black, like all completely normal. And then like just the last 10 seconds, not even that, last 2 seconds. Also, you can eat it. Huh? Did she say you could eat the makeup? Could you imagine the very first product test meeting with her? So big makeup company sits down with Jessica. They're thrilled to have her as the face of the company. She's a big deal. They test it all out. She's thrilled. It looks amazing. Y'all, I just have one question. Can you eat this?
Yes.
Yes, just not this because it's a sample, but yes. Like after the laughter dies down and they realize she's not joking and that's a quote unquote deal breaker. Like what was the creative meeting with the VPs when they go back to the conference room and they're just like, you got to eat it? She said, you got to be able to eat it. Do you think there was like a week where they were like, she was joking, right? And they were too scared to call the agent?
Oh, yeah.
Or the agent calls immediately after and they're like, hey, Ronnie, great meeting. Fantastic meeting, Jessica. Funny you should call us. We were just about to give you a ring. Let me save you time, guys. Yes, she wants to be able to eat it. Okay, we kind of got that impression. Now, we just want to be really clear because there's really a lot of implications to this. All of it. All the makeup. She wants to be able to wear it and consume it safely. Yeah, see, Jessica just likes putting stuff in her mouth. And so
she's
we
going to
figured
eat it.
out.
She's going to eat it. Make it edible because she's going to eat it.
Listen, Karen, John, Bill, Susan, I'm only going to say this once. That girl's going to eat that makeup the next time you see her. So for the love of God, if you have to make it out of flaxseed oil and cornstarch, that's fine. But by God, it better taste like chocolate. Okay. We're not going to make as much money on this as we thought. God, so weird. All right, back to the song. So tell me, what is wrong with me? I'm the girl with everything. So why am I not strong enough? I want to be strong enough to tell you how I really feel. That makes sense. I imagine we all think this. Now, Tim, I will say it is comforting to hear that even the most beautiful among us are still incredibly wildly insecure.
But again, smarten her up 10% and she wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or dumb her down 10% and she wouldn't be.
No comment.
Dumb her down 10% and she'll be our ruler. I know that my talent is real, so don't tell me. Don't tell me. I have to be 102. I don't have nothing to prove, so don't tell me. Don't tell me. What is 102?
That's a weight, Tim.
Oh.
Yeah. It took me all week before I finally read it correctly and was like, oh, shit. Which, let me just say, Jessica Simpson, on a good day, 5'3", 102 pounds with giant breasts. I don't know how that's possible. That's disgusting.
Yeah, now I did once try to get down to 102 in my I wasn't shooting at that, but I was attempting to be the best pound for pound heavyweight boxer in the world.
Right.
Didn't
also,
work.
You don't have giant breasts.
That's true, but I also have giant bones compared to her.
That's true. I would imagine your bones weigh twice as much as hers.
I have heavy bones.
When stripped of flesh and put on a scale.
She says, stop forsaking me in this skin later, which is genuinely insane.
Yeah.
She says in the chorus, she adds a little bit onto it. I feel an awakening in this skin. Stop forsaking me in this skin. Garrett.
That's that religious upbringing.
I guess.
What if this song was incredibly literal and she goes to the doctor and she's like, I know this is going to sound weird, but it just feels like my skin is like 2 sizes too small.
Or too big. I don't know. It's just not the right size.
It's just not the right size. Like some days I'm like, is that skin just hanging off me? And other days I'm just like, I can barely lift up my arms. My skin's so tight.
You have dermatomyositis.
I think you're just sore.
Dermatomyositis.
I think it's just you're just describing muscles.
You have inflammation in your skin and muscles.
Oh God, that looks so weird.
Yeah.
The skin one specifically.
Yeah. Then we get a whole bunch of whispered, love the skin I'm fucked me, love the skin I'm in. And we're done.
Great. Track number 11, the final track. She even rule of 11 herself. B. She literally mumbles to open this song.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's like she's practicing her ventriloquism. She goes, words gonna. If I'm not looking at it, I'm like, oh, what? And even when you look it up, she says, way it's gonna. Not way it's going, way it's gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. So this is a song, it's interesting, because she says, it's basically her, I guess, fantasizing about how great it's gonna be with this guy.
Yes, but I think she's getting catfished / true lies.
Interesting.
Yeah, so she's picturing this grand scenario because she's been fed a line of bullshit.
That's fair. And she probably has.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
He's a 98 degreer.
Yeah, scumbag. Lately I find I'm caught up in these thoughts. How will you come to me? How will you connect these hearts? Are you somewhere near, hidden like a 4-leaf clover? Are you miles away? Are we getting any closer?
4-leaf clovers are rare, not hidden.
Correct. Maybe she thinks leprechauns are hiding them.
Fair enough. And they might be. We can't be sure.
Yeah, I'm picturing
be sure.
That's true. We can't be certain. I haven't checked into it. Have you?
I have. But again, the answers are elusive, as are leprechauns.
Okay, continuing on. I think she's singing about somebody who she's fallen in love with online. This person's fed her a whole bunch of lies, and the more time that goes by, the more she's caught up in her thoughts and beginning to wonder, wait, how are we supposed to meet up exactly? Song continues. I already see us moving mountains. I already see us walk on water. I already see the clouds we're flying over and under. I can really see us having babies, walking through the park and being lazy. I already see myself falling in love eternally. And I think that that's the way it's gonna be. And I think that's the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, we get this religious imagery here, this walking on water stuff. It's weird.
The use of water and blessed and eternally, and she just weaves this biblical language in like it's words we all use in modern times, and it is not.
Absolutely. I kind of think though, so if this is a messiah complex, what if she means literally, right? But she believes that her and this guy, they're going to be essentially able to walk on water. They're going to be able to do all this stuff because their love is that strong, right? She will be capable of Jesus level miracles with Nicholas, but only two people. They have to be in sync. It's like those guys that drive those robots in Pacific Rim.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got a mind meld, but he's just saying all this bullshit to get her to fuck him.
Yeah. Yes, that's the best way you could think about him, though, because if you were Nicholas and she brought this song to you and was just like, what do you think of this song? This is how you see our relationship? What is this? You say, okay, being with you is like a scene from a dream in heaven. I don't know what that means.
It's a hat on a hat, sweetie. It's either like a dream or it's like being in heaven. It's not a dream. What is a dream in heaven? I like my dreams and I think heaven's the greatest place ever, so I thought a dream in heaven would be double good.
You know what? That adds up.
Take your top off. Take your fucking top off. All right. You know what? It's great.
I feel you running through all my senses. Will you taste like rain? Can I breathe you like air? This is how she was singing about her biggest financial mistake.
Yeah, which is what led me to believe it was some sort of True Lies catfishing situation.
Yeah, he was trying to get those $12 billion out of her.
Yeah, it's $12 billion 98 Degrees wasn't making.
That's fair.
Ugh. I saw some boy band on Instagram the other day. I think it was, I don't know, O-Town. That's a band. And it was, dude, they were at like a county fair or not a Six Flags, because a Six Flags has an amphitheater. This was barely a stage. And there were just 45-year-old people with their teenage children watching these dudes perform for 11 people. It was sobering.
Yeah, that's what you're barreling towards.
It makes me wonder how many of these dudes, even with excluding Backstreet Boys and NSYNC because they were cream of the crop, but O-Town, 98 Degrees, there's probably a couple other ones that you and I don't know particularly well. If those guys weren't fairly responsible with their money, it's definitely gone.
Oh, yeah. No, they would be prostitutes right now.
Meeting Joe Simpson in a back alley for a photo shoot.
We'll probably bleep that last name.
Yeah, that's best. That's best. I mean, I didn't say anything. I just said a photo shoot. Man's got a photo business.
I said prostitute, though, and then you said Joe Simpson. So anyway, let's be done with this.
Let's see here, Tim. We don't want to miss a beat here. Is there anything else? No, let's be done with this. All right, Tim, how did this thing do?
Pretty well. It hit number 2 on the US Billboard 200, number 13 in Australia, number 45 in Canada, number 117 in France, 27 in Ireland, 89 in Japan, 35 in Scotland, 18 in South Korea, number 1 in North Korea, number 78 on the Swiss Schweizer Hit Parade, number 36 in the UK. 100% of the Dutch love this album. They find it arousing, although I could not find any actual sales numbers. It was the 14th best-selling album in the US in 2004.
Whoa.
It lost to Usher's Confessions, Evanescence's Fallen, Tobin's Keith's Shock and Y'all, Britney's In the Zone, and K-Way's College Dropout. It did beat Ashley's Autobiography, which came in at number 18, and Hoobastank's The Reason at 24. This album sold over 3 million copies in the US alone. It sold over 7 million copies worldwide, and weirdly, Wikipedia says it sold exactly 3,003 copies in South Korea.
That's weird. What did people think of it?
Well, there are 438 reviews on Amazon, 4.6 out of 5 stars on average, 81% 5 star, 4% 1 star. And I have to say, before I read any of these reviews, I've got maybe 4 or 5 here. They're all pretty short, but I would like to offer an apology and a trigger warning for what you're about to hear. These are things people felt comfortable writing on the internet exclusively in 2004 to 2005. I am sorry.
Gino, get that bleep button ready.
The first one is by Oxymoronovich from 2005. These 2 stars go to her true, quote-unquote, stars. And they can't sing. They got her the contract and legion of male fans who would be having nothing to do with her if it weren't for her true, quote-unquote, stars. Those stars got her the part as Daisy Duke in the upcoming Dukes of Hazzard. Of course, her first and most likely last acting role was one solely due to her, quote-unquote, real stars. Does anyone think Dame Jess is worthy of a role that didn't exploit her true stars? She doesn't have the worst voice. Bob Dylan, her sister Rob Thomas, Stevie Nicks, Janis Joplin, Bruce Springsteen, Macy Gray, Thom Yorke's biggest fan, the lead singer from Coldplay. The list is long, and her true stars are quite nice, so she isn't a complete waste. But how can even her biggest fan claim that she has a good voice? Saying it's not the worst is the best, most honest compliment she deserves. Now, if she were to ever cover up her true stars, then she would lose fans by the bunchful. Hey, at least they are God-given stars, right? 2 out of 5 stars.
You and I need to review your definition of short.
Sorry, that was the longest one by far.
I hope we somehow don't sound as degrading and just creepy as that guy.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Our sexual references, and there have been many After Dark references this episode, they are all in relation to the music itself, and some
That's
to
true.
you wanting to invent time travel so you can go back and fight Nick Lachey to the death.
Yeah, I'd do that.
NR wrote his review in 2004, Get Lost, Jessica. You're not hot, you're not talented, you're not cool. Take all your clothes off. It's all you're probably good for. Sorry for my crudeness, but I am tired of the mockery music has become. 1 out of 5 stars.
Who hurt him?
Helena also titled her review, Get Lost, Jessica. There is no word can describe how much I hate this bimbo. She takes Robbie Williams' song Angel and kills it. If her marriage fail, I will never stop laughing. 1 out of 5 stars.
I have wished people ill. I have wished people...
It's so specific.
I have wished people dead. I have wished people get into a car accident and be set ablaze. I have never once wished for somebody's marriage to end.
I have. The next one is by I'm Hungry, Feed Me from 2004. It's called Take My Breath Away. Take my breath away. Good. Then you can die. I can't stand her. Stop breathing. Stop living. You're a skinny, evil bitch with no meat on your bones, and you need to be destroyed. Skinny bitches are evil. 1 out of 5 stars.
I'm going to go on a limb, say that person has some body issues.
Absolutely. Last one here, Garrett. I think this might, I believe you'll ask me to stop if I try to continue after this one. This is by S.A. Crimmen, and it's entitled Duty from 2004.
How's that spelled?
D-O-O-D-Y.
Great. That's off to a swimming start.
This one's a little rough, Garrett. I apologize in advance. I would
so scared.
rather eat duty than listen to Jessica's shit. Really shows you how dumb the people are that like George W. Shrub, but I would still do anal on her. 1 out of 5 stars.
Specificity.
Why would you write that? Why would you write that?
I'm not okay. I really wasn't expecting that.
You know what? This is the thing. Oh, lately we've had a bunch of reviews that haven't been that great by these people because they're more recent and everyone's checking themselves. We need to do exclusively albums that were very popular in 2004 to 2005. Jesus Christ.
I have Diet Mountain Dew in my lungs. Worth it. But these people are fucking pathetic.
They're amazing. Oh.
Wait, that's how it ends?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. That was a 1 out of 5 star review.
Fantastic. P.S. I'd still do anal on her.
just in case you were concerned that I wasn't still up for it.
Yeah, in case she reads this and she's like, oh man, I was going to call this guy for anal. Anal.
If it helps, the second A is start out.
It doesn't. It does not.
Maybe it's anal. Maybe it's
A-N-O-L?
Yeah.
What's anal?
I don't know. It's better than whatever this guy wrote.
God damn it. You know what? Let's move on. Great reviews, Tim. Who is this for?
I mean, this is for girls that were in their mid-teens when this came out. I think perverts of all ages.
Yeah, tweens and teen girls and perverts.
Yep.
Yeah, for the most part. Fantastic. That brings us to final thoughts. Any grand sweeping assessments now that we've been all the way through it?
I never want to hear her music again. However, I might read her book. Well,
let me know how that is.
I might get her book as an audiobook and listen to it while doing something else.
God, I can't imagine. What if she reads it?
Oh, I hope she reads it. Oh my God. Oh my God. What if okay, maybe it's a cast of characters. Maybe her dad reads his parts. And
Nick Lachey comes in.
Oh yeah.
God. Wait a minute. It's read by Jessica Simpson. It's 25 hours. It's a 230-page book.
She has the pronunciation of a Tim.
At around hour 12, she has a full breakdown and just begins sobbing into the microphone. She's just so insecure. And then you hear her father come in at one point and tell her she's overweight. It's unclear who the gentleman in the background is.
He definitely said that to her at least once. You're looking fat today, Jessica.
Dude, more than that. Again, allegedly, because he could buy and sell us, but 10 times over, 100 times over. Feel free to buy and sell us.
Oh yeah,
but not like the
boas.
Not like the boas. It's important. Tim, do you hate this album?
I do. Yeah. What about you, friend? Do you hate this?
I do indeed.
Excellent.
I do indeed. Just as much as when we began.
But in case she's listening.
Oh right, Jessica, great job. Only if it's Jessica from 2003.
Oh, sorry. I was assuming you were going to assure her that you would still do anal on her. Moving on, Garrett.
God bless it. That guy's a creep. What in the world? All right, let's move right along, folks. That's going to do it for us this week. I am going to go shower. But before I do, quick reminder, reach out to us, hatePodMail@gmail.com. We love hearing from you. Emails slowed down last week. It was a nice breather, but hey, we miss you. Reach out. You can also go to hatepod.com and click on Contact Us in the upper left-hand corner. That's another way to do it. You can find us on Instagram. That's hatepod. Twitter's album, hatepod. hatePodMail@gmail.com. We have Discord servers. We've got subreddits. We're out there. You can find us. But for this week, that's going to do it for Why I Hate This Album. I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Timothy P. Richardson. And on October 5th, 2017, Garrett P. Harvey sang, "You're my little mustard boy, mustard boy, mustard boy. Why don't you live in a hot dog house?" to the tune of Charles Manson's Garbage Dump to a hot dog just before he ate it. I guess the take-home message here is Garrett refers to his belly as a hot dog house.
I do.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.